Let's start with Daboll, JB. You and I both think he's a good football coach, and we know that. And having Josh Allen in Buffalo, that'll help. But he did a hell of a job there early. Unfortunately, it went south, and not enough good players, or more coaching problem, more player problem, JB. Was the timing right for this? Because you and I have discussed basically all fall that this was probably inevitable that it was going to happen. Agree with the move?
I don't agree with the move. I think they failed him at every level there. It started with Saquon Barkley, obviously, after a playoff run, beating Minnesota in Minnesota. Danny Dimes, he loses his running back, and now look at what's happened since. It spiraled out of control. They had a great draft this year, I think the best draft. They get some pieces in place. Jackson Dart energizes the team. Scadaboo gets hurt. Jackson gets hurt. I mean, I would believe they win yesterday if he don't go down. Russell Wilson comes in, looks like a shell of himself. He probably needs to hang it up. He looked horrific. And I don't know how you blame the guy that you traded Saquon Barkley when clearly Daboll wanted to keep him. Like, I don't know how you fire him after that. But again, we're in a results-oriented business, Sean. You got to win. And what have you done for me lately? And that's what they're going to look at and say, well, what you've done for me lately is you're 2-7 or whatever. So at the end of the day, it always falls on the head guy. And unfortunately, ownership will not take any blame for this. It's always the head coach. And you're only as good as your players. At the end of the day in the NFL, Sean, we all get paid, right? 1st and 15th to do a job. And if your Jimmy's ain't as good as their Joe's, guess what?
JB, with that, how bare was the cupboard in your mind for Brian Daboll? In truth, how bare? Russ Wilson for Daniel Jones, Jackson Dart for Russ Wilson, no Saquon Barkley. Did they give him any cans of food in the cupboard, or was it fairly empty? Because you mentioned the draft, they got a pretty good front. Was there enough to win with? Does Daboll take on any of this in your mind?
I don't think they had enough to win with. I think they got they made some moves in the draft. They got Carter, which we liked. I thought their D-line was going to be better than it is. Thibodeau, him, Brian Burns. They got some guys, but at the end of the day, I still think they're wide out. I mean, look who they've lost this year. Like, right. How are you supposed to win? Seriously, like your best wide out that was showing glimpses of being a top-tier NFL guy. And Neighbor. You could say he's a shitbird or whatever, but at the end of the day, he was unbelievable. Scadaboo, who was an energetic, I mean, it looks like, damn near Larry Zonka out there. And then you get this young, energized quarterback who is kind of the team is behind, and he gets hurt yesterday. Like, I don't know what you expect the head guy to do. Go play for you? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody was going to get through that deal, did you? I don't think anybody gets it. I don't get it.
You and I hinted towards that the lack of players and playmakers was going to end up being his demise. JB, it makes me smile. You mentioned Larry Zonka, and I'm sitting here thinking, are there people literally out there that have zero idea?
Yeah, I have no idea.
And I'm thinking, Zonk was the guy, with that fullback face bar, protect his nose, the little horseshoe there, and to do it. But Scadaboo plays like, you lose him, you lose your wide receiver. Jackson Dart's got some excitement, but the cupboard, put it this way, may not have been bare, say, JB, but it was fairly empty. Brian Daboll will coach again. It just won't be here. Where they go next will be interesting.